Akashvani presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Saira Mujtaba. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch National Sickle Cell Anaemia Elimination Mission in Madhya Pradesh today. Prime Minister to inaugurate 17th Indian Cooperative Congress in New Delhi. Centre announces Tomato Grand Challenge hackathon to generate innovative ideas for availability and fair pricing of tomatoes. Annual Amarnath Yatra commences from twin routes of Baltal and Chandanwari in the Kashmir Valley. Star Indian javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra clinches Lausanne Diamond League title. And in football, India to take on Lebanon in semifinal of SAFF Championship in Bengaluru this evening. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the National Sickle Cell Anaemia Eradication Mission 2047 in Lalpur village of Madhya Pradesh today. The mission aims to address the pressing health challenges posed by sickle cell disease, particularly among the tribal population. Sickle cell disease is widespread among the tribal population of the country. It is estimated that about 1 in 86 births among tribal population have sickle cell anemia disease. The disease affects hemoglobin in red blood cells, which can result in morbidity and mortality through distinct pathways. The National Sickle Cell Anemia Elimination Mission, announced in the Union Budget 2023, will be implemented in 278 districts of 17 high-focus states of the country. The Prime Minister will also participate in several programs in Shahdol district, including distribution of 3,57 lakhs Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana cards. He will also address a public meeting. He will meet the women members of the self-help group. He will also meet members of PESA Act committees. After having discussions with the intellectuals of the tribal society, the Prime Minister will have lunch with them. We have a report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be welcomed with traditional tribal music and dance. Later, Prime Minister will reach Pakaria village and interact with the people of the PESA Act committee. This act, which gives special rights to the tribal society, is applicable from 15th November 2022 in all the scheduled areas of Madhya Pradesh. This act gives special rights to the Gram Sabha for the management of natural resources. Apart from this, the Prime Minister will also meet the football players coming from the tribal society. Special efforts are being made since last 1 year to promote football game in Shahdol division. The Prime Minister will also hold discussions with the intellectuals of the tribal society and have lunch with them. With Prashant Sharma's report, this is Anita Anand for Akashvani News.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 17th Indian Cooperative Congress in New Delhi today at 11 a.m. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said that, guided by the vision of Sehkar Se Samriddhi, the government is committed to strengthening the cooperative movement. He also highlighted its role in enhancing prosperity and empowering the lives of farmers. The National Cooperative Union of India is organizing the two-day event with the theme Amrit Kal Prosperity Through Cooperation for a Vibrant India. It will be chaired by the Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to Russian President Vladimir Putin over the phone yesterday. Both the leaders reviewed progress in bilateral cooperation and exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. President Putin informed Mr. Modi about the recent developments in Russia. While discussing the situation in Ukraine, the Prime Minister reiterated his call for dialogue and diplomacy. Both leaders agreed to remain in touch and continue to make efforts to further strengthen the special and privileged strategic partnership between the two countries. As part of India's G20 presidency, B20 meeting will be held in Surat today. The meet will provide an opportunity for business leaders to share their insights and policy recommendations on various business economic topics. Union Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Sarbanand Sonowal, will be present at the inaugural session of the meet. Nearly 200 delegates from G20 countries representing banking, textiles, finance and diamonds will attend the meet. The first plenary session of the meet will discuss opportunities for trade, investment in diamonds, textiles and chemical industries for global value chain. The centre has announced the Tomato Grand Challenge hackathon aimed at addressing the availability and affordability of tomatoes for consumers and ensuring fair value for tomato farmers. The challenge has invited innovative ideas across the tomato value chain. Winning ideas will be evaluated, developed into prototypes, and implemented on a large scale. Through this challenge, the government also aims to tackle price fluctuations that come from seasonal variations, supply chain disruptions, adverse weather conditions, and local production surpluses. Interested participants can apply through the official portal of the Department of Consumer Affairs. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Welcome back. The annual Sri Amarnath Yatra formally commenced from the twin routes of Baltal and Chandanwari in the Kashmir Valley this morning. Amid chants of Bam Bam Bhole, the Yatris started their trek early in the morning on both the routes. Our correspondent reports that unprecedented security and other arrangements have been put in place for the smooth conduct of the Yatra this year.
The three-tier security has been put in place for the entire Amarnath Yatra route. Joint control rooms, langar stalls, registration counters, power and water supply, health facilities, sanitation, transportation and emergency services have been made available. In the backdrop of last year's cloudburst and flash floods, aerial surveys will be conducted to tackle any emergency. A makeshift state-of-the-art hospital has been built by DRDO at Chandanwari for round-the-clock healthcare facilities to the pilgrims. Meanwhile, the administration has made the radio frequency identification tag necessary for the Yatris, and no Yatri will be allowed to proceed further without the tags. In this regard, 5 Tatkal registration centers have been established in Jammu for the on-spot registration. The Yatra will continue for 62 days this year, for which more than 3 lakh pilgrims have registered so far. This is Nasir Rathar for Akashvani News from Jammu.
The Ministry of Civil Aviation has said that the development work at the Ayodhya airport is expected to be completed by September this year. The airport is being developed at a cost of 350 crore rupees. Union Minister for Civil Aviation Jyotiraditya Scindia said the development of Ayodhya airport showcases Prime Minister Modi's visionary approach to drive progress in India's infrastructure, which symbolizes government's commitment to enhance air connectivity and promote tourism in the holy city of Ayodhya. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a tweet message saluted the bravery and courage of tribal freedom fighters Sidho Kanhu, Chand Bhairav and Phulo Jhano on Hool Divas. He said that this day reminds us of the spirit of bravery and courage shown by our tribals against the injustice done by the British government. Former Chief Minister of Jharkhand and BJP's National Vice President Raghubar Das thanked the Prime Minister for saluting the immortal tribal revolutionaries on Hool Divas in Old Cheeky script of Santhali language on Twitter. The Indian Computer Emergency Response Team has released guidelines on information security practices for government entities for safe and trusted Internet. The guidelines include various security domains such as network security, identity and access management, data security, and third-party outsourcing. It will help government entities and industry to reduce cyber risk, protect citizen data, and continue to improve the cybersecurity ecosystem in the country. Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology, Rajiv Chandrasekhar said, the government has taken several initiatives to ensure an open, safe, trusted and accountable digital space. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that for the past 9 years, the Narendra Modi-led government has started one college every week. Speaking at the convocation at Wales University near Chennai, she said that each year a new IIT was established in the country. Comparing the NDA regime since 2014, she said that the number of universities in the country has increased from 720 to 1,133. In Kenya, at least 48 people were killed when a truck rammed into a number of other vehicles at a busy junction in the western part of the country. According to a news agency, another 30 people had been seriously injured and rushed to various hospitals. Local police issued a warning that the toll could rise. Television images showed scenes of devastation at the site of the crash, with mangled wreckage of several minibuses and the overturned truck as rescue workers hunted for people feared trapped. Kenyan leaders, including President William Ruto, has expressed their condolence over the accident. The Indian Meteorological Department has predicted normal to above normal rainfall over most areas of central India and adjoining South Peninsula and East India and some areas of northeast and northwest India for this month. It also forecasts normal to above normal minimum temperatures over most parts of the country during the period. However, below normal minimum temperatures are also likely over northwest India. The Met Department further said that isolated heavy to very heavy rainfall is likely over sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Sikkim, Bihar, Assam, Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, coastal Karnataka and Kerala during the next 4 days. Heavy rains have lashed several parts of Gujarat. Various districts including Junagadh, Jamnagar, Kutch and Tapi received heavy spells during the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the Met Department has forecast heavy to heavy rains in several parts of the state till tomorrow. Our correspondent reports that Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel visited the State Emergency Operations Centre in Gandhinagar last night and reviewed the situation in rain-affected areas.
Normal life was thrown out of gear in several places in Junagadh, Jamnagar, Morbi, Kutch, Surat, Ahmedabad and Tapi districts due to waterlogging and local flooding. Power supply and road connectivity were also affected in many places in the state. Visavadar in Junagadh district remained the worst affected town. In view of the heavy rains, 4 teams of NDRF have been deployed in the rain-affected districts for rescue and relief operations. Aparna Khun, Akashwani News, Ahmedabad.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has approved the release of over 6,194 crore rupees to 19 state governments under the State Disaster Response Fund. The funds will help the states to undertake relief measures during the current monsoon season. Based on the 15th Finance Commission recommendations, the central government has allocated over 1,28,000 crore rupees for SDRF for the years 2021-22 to 2025-26. Meanwhile, Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has virtually reviewed the preparedness of states for prevention and control of vector-borne diseases ahead of the monsoon season. Star Indian javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra has clinched the Lausanne Diamond League 2023 title with a best throw of 87.66 meters. Olympic champion Neeraj returned from an injury that had caused him to miss some competitions after his win at the Diamond League 2023 event in Doha in May. Neeraj's golden arm did its magic in the 5th attempt and achieved a throw of 87.66 meters. In the SAFF Championship, India will face Lebanon in the second semi-final at 7:30 this evening at Sri Kanteerava Stadium in Bengaluru. While the Indian football team is trying its best to make back-to-back SAFF Cup wins, Lebanon is also working hard to make their first ever final in the history of the competition. In the first semi-final, Kuwait will face Bangladesh at the same venue at 3 in the afternoon today. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Anita Anand.
Thank you, Sarah. All dailies have noticed talks between Russian President and PM Modi. The Asian Age writes PM Putin talks on SCO Ukraine. The Tribune informs PM dials Putin, discusses Ukraine, Wagner mutiny. The Tribune headlines Xi Sharif to join India-hosted SCO meet, adding virtual summit on July 4, confirmed participation on PM's invite. On developments in Manipur, the Hindu writes, after high trauma, Biren drops his resignation plan, while the Indian Express writes, resignation letter torn, CM Biren says not stepping down. Uttarakhand special session on uniform civil code soon, headlines the Asian Age. It's raining, good news for economy, markets. Financial Express reports IMT predicts good monsoon in July. And for fans of the People's Princess, there's some news. The Asian Age writes, Diana's iconic sweater to be auctioned may be listed between 50 and 80,000 pounds. And with that, it's back to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Anita. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch National Sickle Cell Anaemia Elimination Mission in Madhya Pradesh today. Prime Minister to inaugurate 17th Indian Cooperative Congress in New Delhi. Centre announces Tomato Grand Challenge Hackathon to generate innovative ideas for availability and fair pricing of tomatoes. Annual Amarnath Yatra commences from twin routes of Baltal and Chandanwari in Kashmir Valley. Star Indian javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra clinches Lausanne Diamond League title. And in football, India to take on Lebanon in semi-finals of SAFF Championship in Bengaluru this evening. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a great day.